Hi, Pisces. And or February, March, and or cross-watchers, and or anybody who found this title intriguing and wants to watch it. As soon as I started channeling this reading, I got this song in my head, Usher, My Way. Do you remember that song? She likes it my way. Yo, my way. You can't satisfy her needs. She keeps running back to see me do it my way. Go to town, take your bed. Ow! So, like, I don't know what that has to do with this reading yet because I haven't pulled any cards, but I don't know if you're going back to an ex because nobody else seems to do it as good as them. Who knows? I don't know, Pisces. I haven't pulled any cards yet, but maybe you should listen to that song because it's a great song. Just all of a sudden, Usher. Who just hears Usher just start rapping in their head all of a sudden? Crazy. What do we got to say for Pisces? Oh, okay. That's a few cards. So the first one on the table, abundance. So that was the first thing, is like keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Gratitude, bliss. And then that's it. 3 at my feet right here, and 1 over by my drink. Now I just feel like I got freaking hair all over me. Leaking hair. Okay. On my feet was separation, kisses, and soulmate. And then what landed on the ground on the outside was talking. Interested, conversing more, awaiting a message, arrives, text, call, email, hovering. See? Okay, so maybe this is an ex. Maybe an ex is coming back, Pisces. On the bottom was heartbroken. I definitely know some people are coming back around now. I don't really know why, but I don't see this being bad. The other one I read today was like, it was kind of like some kind of like succubus coming back to just eat you alive because they ruined everything for themselves. But this is like a soulmate comes back because the sex was so good. And this person has had a really positive mindset. Maybe that's you. Maybe you just know. Maybe you just know something. And you're like, you know what? Something good's going to come in for me. Like, it's my time for something good to come in for me. And what landed at my feet was separation, kisses, and soulmate. So it's like you've been separated from a soulmate, a particular soulmate, and there's still kisses there. So there's still unconditional loving there. So it seems like you two still like each other, but you just haven't seen each other. And you know what? All day I've been thinking about the town I grew up in. Like, I don't know why. I'm thousands of miles away from where I grew up, but I was where I grew up for 34 years. And I've been gone for 2 years now. So I was there for my whole life, right? And for some reason I was thinking about that this morning, and I don't think about my home. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's like, you know, I think about the store I used to walk to and shit like that. But for some reason in my dreams too, I feel like in my dreams sometimes we go back to places where we were for a majority of our lives if there's like unfinished business and stuff. So maybe that's, you know, again, like maybe you're like, this is a separation, like you're away from this person. Like, so maybe you moved away from a hometown and you're thinking about going back, or that's where this person is back home. Because I feel like maybe you've been chit-chatting with somebody too from back home and you want to see them. Because there's some kind of soul connection between the two of you. And if you always think about them, then they're thinking about you, right? Especially if you're like driving and you haven't thought about this person and then all of a sudden they come into your head. It's most likely because they're thinking about you too, especially if it comes out of nowhere. If you see a picture of them and then you start thinking about them, that's one thing. If it just comes out of nowhere and you're in the middle of doing something, it's most likely because that person's thinking about you. And the telepathy between you two is still open. Like that channel is still open. So you're still like communicating with each other. You just don't know you're talking to each other, but you're still talking to each other. Because you both liked each other. Like if it was one hated the other one, then you wouldn't have been able to keep the channel open. But because you both liked each other and you still like each other, you're keeping it open. So then one day when you're ready to see each other again, your telepathy will be open. You'll be fully responsive to one another and you'll be able to run into one another or talk to each other or email each other or whatever this is. This talking, like I do think you're talking to one another. It's just not in this dimension. Especially if you see this person in your dreams, that's a huge indicator that they're still around you, because then they visit you in your dreams because they know where to find you. Which means if they visit you, you visit them. Very huge communication between the two of you. Very huge communication between the two of you. One has definitely still... Okay, so there is a possibility that we have the hammer and the chaser. There is a possibility that you guys were broken up in the past over lies. Okay, so there was, the hammer is about sabotage. Okay, and having to rebuild after something is destroyed. Okay. And, you know, I think you guys have been persistently talking to each other in another dimension, so then you never lost one another. You stayed, if that was the only way that you could stay hanging out, you stayed hanging out in your dreams, okay? And you stayed chasing one another. Like you may not, neither one of you have probably had a serious relationship since this whole thing, because nobody would have been able to be with you because that person would have chased them away. Because they had a fear of losing you. So you couldn't be with anybody in 3D seriously. It was always sabotaged because you had to keep this other stupid garbage trucks. You had to keep this other relationship going, so you couldn't really have anything relationship wise in 3D, because then it would have broke this communication off, because that person would have stalled the communication or blocked the communication in some way because they were with you, and they would have saw that as like kind of cheating, right? It's like you were dream cheating, right? But you were dream cheating because you were separated from this person, and that's the only way you could be together. You clearly had sex with this person in your dreams numerous times. And you two have been chasing spouses away from each other, which is like such a Pisces thing to do. Like if that's the kind of energy Pisces wants to bring in, because it's always that two fish, right? So it's like you guys have been the two fish that have just been chasing each other's little boyfriends and girlfriends around, so then they never stayed long enough to make anything because you already had a boyfriend or a girlfriend. It was just in another dimension. This is so weird. This is not something I pick up. I don't think I've ever done a reading like this. Nothing has ever been fully in dreams before. And like this only is going to reflect if you have dreams about this person. If you don't have dreams about this person, then this reading has nothing to do with you. If you have dreams about this person, then there is a huge abundance coming back around because of the weight of having to keep this thing alive. Like clearly there was serious sabotage in 3D. Yes, there was the sabotage between the two of you, but there was more than that keeping you apart. right? It wasn't just other people. It was a serious energy keeping you apart because clearly you both had serious jobs you had to do. And the only way you could be together is in another side. And that's like massively cute. And you have to understand the unconditional love of that, of being able to stay with somebody even though you can't see them. Like that means you had to believe in it from day one, which is like that whole triptronic of Santa Claus. If you don't believe in it, I mean, it doesn't exist. If you didn't believe in this, it didn't exist. Oh my gosh. Okay. I have to pull one ruin. They don't stop falling everywhere. Just to see, I'm like, okay, I gotta pull one ruin just to see the end tall tale of this journey between two clearly star-crossed lovers. Like, holy Romeo and Juliet. Oh my gosh, number 13. I know that means balance, enlightenment, death. I don't know why I just showed you the piece of paper. So in death is where you loved each other. That's where your balance and enlightenment comes from. So death would be that one dimension where you guys have been the separated soulmates. So you died together in one life. And now you're coming back to probably die together again. Oh my God, that's what it is. And I mean, you could stay together for 20 years. It's just whatever this cycle is going to be, this is the person you die with. Oh my God, my sister just started a SVU episode and I heard, da 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 da. Huge message. Oh my God, Pisces, this is so incredible. Thank you for watching on Moonshine. Thanks for joining the channel. See you later. Happy Hump Wednesday.